All right, everybody. My name is Mike. This is MikeGolfsOregon, and tonight I have with me a very special guest, another Mike. Again, these conversations with other YouTube golf creators are all about connection and building community among people who share a passion for both golf and for YouTube. So, first of all, Mike, thank you for coming on tonight with me. I really appreciate it. Really enjoy your channel, and I was excited
Thank you.
when you agreed. So, how are you doing? Go ahead and introduce yourself. Who are you? Where are you from?
Man, first off, I I was shocked when you sent me the email. So thank you for even reaching out and considering me for this, man. And I'm happy to talk about our passions for YouTube golf, man. So my name is Mike Buie from No Gimmes Golf. I'm based in Chicago, and I've been in the YouTube space. Ooh, that's a good question. I think since 2021 is when I first created the channel.
Okay.
But like really 2022 is when I started actually making videos.
Okay. Okay. So I just want to jump right in. I would say the first video, and I actually wrote this down. The first video you posted was 3 years ago, right?
Oh, okay, there we go.
Okay. So you posted your first video 3 years ago. You opened with a great. I mean, it was slick, right? So this raised a lot of
Okay.
questions for me. A great montage. You had the soundtrack, the tracers, decent camera work. You had edited down the content. So many first
Mhm.
videos. It's like, let me show you how I take 5 practice swings and then stand over the ball
Yeah.
before you. Right? None of that. Title cards, logo, all of that. First
Mhm.
question that came to mind: is this your first channel?
That's a fair question. I never thought about it like that. This is absolutely my first channel.
Absolutely your first channel. Okay. Take me through. So, how much prep did you do for that first video? Take me through how long it took you to put it together, sort of how you planned all of that out, because that was a lot. It was awesome for a first video.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. Honestly, I just looked at that as the standard. And the reason why is because I've been like many people, especially watching this, right? I've been a fan of the YouTube golf space. So I think that's what gave me the confidence to do it. But then I also try to mirror what the people who do it well do. So I said, as a viewer, what do I like out of a channel? I like tracers. I like to know the score. I like to know what club this person is using. I
Mhm.
like good audio. We know how important that is, right?
Yeah,
And I had some growth to do in
you
that
had some
area,
growth there. Yeah, yeah,
for sure. Because you also want to start it with as little money as possible.
sure.
Um, I bought a laptop. It was my first laptop because I'd only had work laptops. So there was a lot of studying the YouTube space because that was my TV. I didn't watch regular TV. YouTube channels and videos were my TV every day.
Yep.
So I just fell in love with YouTube golf and the process. So I was new to editing. I'd never edited a video before. So I said, how can I make this viewing experience great? And you mentioned music. I love music. I love films with a good score. And I think that the music can really convey for the creator what they want to convey, but then also
Sure.
make the experience great for the viewer.
Yeah. It
So
it
like
creates
that,
a
yeah,
continuity. It smooths a lot of things over. First of all, I want to say hi to
100%.
yeah, I want to say hi to Miguel and Little Bludget. Hi, thanks for joining us. Um, Going back to something you said, you thought about the things that you
Hey,
liked in
appreciate
a
you guys.
yeah, you thought about the things that you liked in videos, and you wanted to recreate that or include those things. Um,
Yeah.
I think that there's a difference between knowing what you like and then having the eye for detail that you're actually doing it. Like, I think back to
That's
all of my
fair.
early videos, you think you're doing something, and then it takes, some things it takes a long time to like get into your head. Like, boy, I really thought I had
Yeah.
pacing down, or I thought I had really kind of edited that tight, and you realize I really didn't. Oh, I thought I had a great angle. I really didn't. I
hmm
thought, down to the camera wasn't straight. Everything was off. So that
Yeah.
that that to me was very impressive that you came right out of the gate with not perfect, like you said. You had some lessons to learn with sound and sound quality and things like that, but you came out
hmm
of the gate so strong and so detailed. Was
I appreciate that.
really impressive to me. So it's kind of cool to
I
hear
appreciate
you
that.
say that was your first and put that much time into it. My firsts are
Thank you,
horrible.
man. Yeah, I was just about to ask you, like, what do you think you even have improved upon Now we're in 2025. When was your first video?
Probably around the same time as you. Well, no, I
Okay.
think 2021.
Okay.
So it was COVID, and I've been like
Yeah.
you. Like I don't watch any streaming services. I don't watch TV. I watch
Mhm.
YouTube,
Yeah.
and almost all just YouTube golf and like history documentaries. And then I listen to
Mhm.
podcasts and read. First of all, hi
Okay.
Chip. And so during COVID, I didn't really even know there was such a thing as YouTube golf. And that's sort
Mhm.
of when I found it, 2020. And I will
Yep.
tell you the person that really inspired me,
Mhm.
because he just came across, still does, as so genuine and positive, was George Bryan. Had
That's a good one.
I had no idea who he was. I didn't know anything about I didn't know he had a brother named Wesley. I didn't know the trick shots. I knew none of that. I just knew
Mhm.
that there was this guy at this cool course in Aiken, South Carolina, who was going out almost every day and just recording his rounds and sharing
Yeah.
his thoughts. And it was super cool. And I was like, I want to try that. That looks like fun.
Yeah.
I like making videos. I love golf. I'm horrible at it, but I'll go give it a shot. And so that's how I just, as soon as the course opened, um, grabbed the camera. I had a stand bag, and like everybody else, I was like propping the
Mhm.
camera up, balancing it on the bag, hope it didn't fall in the
Yeah.
bag,
Yeah.
and then just away I went. Right. That's sort of how.
So
Yeah.
we're the same, Mike. Like we're the same, almost down to even George Bryant. So
Really.
like when George was a part of Good Good, and a lot of people don't really know
Yeah.
that,
That's
but when
way
they
back.
went, that's way back. So that was my entry to YouTube golf. And there was another guy a part of Good Good named Bryce Butler,
Yep.
and like seeing that group, obviously I'm a black male, right? So seeing Bryce with this group of kids, it looked like, where I just said, this is an interesting grouping, but like George Bryant was one of the best golfers I'd ever seen on YouTube. He's always been amazing.
Yeah.
So I that's what inspired me to say the same thing you said. Oh, this looks cool. They just giving their thought. I want to try this.
Looks fun.
Yeah.
Right. Looks fun. It's interesting. You touched on a couple things that I have other questions that I've written down a little bit later
Oh,
on here that I
sorry,
want.
man. Sorry,
No,
man.
no,
But
no. This is all
I
good.
just
I
felt
know.
so connected to you right
I,
there.
I will jump all over the place. I'll jump all
Yeah.
over the place. I did want to go back to your first video though, because I had one more
Mhm.
question about that. Actually, a
Yeah.
couple questions, but one was, um, what was your thought as you're going back and editing, and you have background gunshots in your round, and you include it in your final edit? I get them in mine. I get them in mine,
Yeah.
but they come from bird hunters, guys sighting in their rifles, and then there's wineries all over here, and wineries
Yeah.
have those shotguns that blast off every couple minutes to scare
Yeah.
off the birds. But yours is a totally different animal. So what was? Tell me your thought process when you caught that on the video, and you're like, I'm going to keep that in the edit. Keep it real. Here we go, Chicago.
I I had to. One of my goals for embarking in the YouTube golf space was to be me, because I felt that those guys in Good Good and Bryce Butler, they were them. And I never want to misrepresent myself, or I never.
You mentioned earlier, good, good, and Bryce Butler, and I had written this down. First of all, you said it looked like he was playing with what looked like some kids. They were kids. um, but you say good, good, good was your initial inspiration, and I watched. You have the intro video that you do, sort of like, what is this channel about? Who am I? What is this about? And you talk about Bryce Butler on Good Good. Prompted you. You want to. I think your words were, you want to show people who look like me that they can play this game. You can play this game. Do you think that the explosion of YouTube and the avenue to exposure for other black golfers. So Roger Steele, Joe Hooks. I would not have known who Joe Hooks was if it wasn't for YouTube Golf, and a host of other channels. Do you think? Um, do you think that that's had an impact on black people getting, people that look like you getting into the game?
No, Rick Shields. We know he's the godfather of YouTube golf, right? He set the tone, and then for I call them like ensemble golf, which is good, good, right? Because they got these different characters. You know who they are, what to expect from them. I think they brought it to the new generation and the younger generation, and I think that paved the way for guys like me, guys like those other gentlemen that you mentioned that maybe found their way through short form and then make their way back to long form. Like Joe Hooks, I think a lot of people fell in love with that with his swing
Yeah.
because of Randy Golf Club,
Yep.
right? So and the breaking series. So I think that yes, the space has allowed for more people that look like me to enjoy golf. I've had people tell me that I make them want to play golf more, especially
Nice.
from Chicago.
Yeah.
I have I have now friends who golf who found me through my channel, who said, "Hey, I live in Chicago, let's play." And
Cool.
we're the same age. I'm going on a golf trip with a guy I met from TikTok, and we're going in January. So, like, it allows for more cohesion.
What sort of makes it your favorite?
Okay, so I was losing you for a second. Um, I I think one thing that I like about it is like, so I'm 33 years old, and good has a certain air about it, right? Where it's kind of focused on kids a little bit or younger generation, right? And like something like Four Player Bob Does Sports, they talk like I talk. Like I curse in my videos, not overwhelmingly or anything like that, but I don't curb it for the sake of the camera.
Yeah.
And watching all of these creators who are at the top of the space just curse and just be them, talk stuff. I don't know if we can curse here, but talk stuff, right? Like that's the golf that I'm used to, and it's just been hilarious and good golf. And that's all like we all want, right? Like we want personality and good golf. And I think that they struck lightning with the format. The Ryder Cup format has been competitive. So if you got competition, you got drama, and then you got great golf, it that
Yeah.
you can only succeed for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I'm curious your thoughts about it.
So I will say that there are, I think, only two, maybe three of the creators in it, which just started like what 48 or something like that,
Uh huh.
that I'm subscribed to. Um,
Oh.
and I've
Who else?
subscribed to a lot of them in the past, and then
Uh
I don't want to overgeneralize, but here's what I will say:
huh.
they start to play a character,
Hmm.
and in order for them to succeed at the YouTube game, the character starts to be outsized. And then it
Okay.
comes and okay, so I'll come clean. I'm 53, right?
Okay.
So there's a
Okay.
demographic difference there.
You're a good
Um,
53, man. You look good for 53.
thank you. So there's a demographic difference, and I look at things
Yeah.
differently. But I don't like it when they ramp up that character that they play so much to the point that I feel that they've lost their authentic
Yeah.
self. And so I don't like that aspect of it. And I know the more of them you get together, the in the collaborations, the more of them that get together, the more it's turned up to 11. And then it's like, take what I don't like about where they've gone and crank it up. And then the other thing that has made me drop a lot of their channels, um, and now I'm thinking about it, I think there's three on that are still in it that I'm still subscribed to, and I can tell you why. But
Okay.
um, is that I get really tired of, like, YouTube is full of copycats, right?
Hmm.
And it's because those are the guys that are playing the game, and they see
Yeah.
that, hey, this works. If I do this challenge or that challenge or this style of, if this is sort of the niche of my channel, which is like, Bob Does Sports was doing like, it was every eating and drinking challenge
Yeah.
possible, right?
Yeah.
And to me, it got really old. I would literally rather watch and subscribe to a guy who's a 20 handicap, who's trying to break 95 for the first time, 90 for the first time, and just watching him grind away on his
Hmm.
home course. To me,
Yeah.
there's a compelling story because that's not very far in my past
Yeah. Yeah.
being that
Right.
guy, and I'm a pretty positive person, and so I love jumping into those. I love it when I come across one of those channels with a guy who's not willing to be a little vulnerable and talk about himself,
Hmm.
and that's like, that's like honey to me, and I'm immediately jumping in the comments and just
Yeah.
trying to like feed positivity, like, you got this, man. That was a great
Yeah.
round. Sure, that one got away from you. That's where I really get the juice out of YouTube. And so that's why the the invitational is just like it's not my deal, right? It's not my deal.
Yeah.
I I do, like I told you, I subscribe to the Bryan brothers because I
Mhm.
Wesley is starting to turn his character up a little bit too much,
He is. Yes.
right?
Yes, he is.
You can
Yes.
see it. You see it happening. They're like, this gets views. This gets rage bait, whatever.
Mhm.
And that to
Yeah.
me is just like, yeah, I don't want to be manipulated into watching something.
Yeah.
But I still watch them because I really like them. I am um, I subscribed to Paige when she started doing the what is it? It's the Outlaw Tour, the par three thing. So she started.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's called. No, it's not the Outlaw, but it's
The
you know what I'm
the
talking about.
grass clip.
Yes, Grass
Yeah.
League, Grass League.
Yeah.
So I watched because she that's where they started all their videos, and now they have their own channel. And then the other one who I really like, who maybe has a little bit of a character, but it doesn't feel like he's cranking it up, is Peter Finch.
Yeah.
And I
I
love.
like I like Peter a lot.
He's so good. He's such a good golfer. He's improved so much over the last couple of years.
I thought it was just me. I thought this because sorry to cut you off, but
No,
as I've been watching him when he's doing these collabs, when he's been in America, I said, has he always just been this amazing?
uh-uh.
It's impressive. Yes, I'm with you
he
on that.
he's always been good, right?
Right.
But he like two years, maybe 3 years ago, he started on
Uh,
this very specific path to improvement, and
mhm.
it's kind of like all of us. We all say, "Oh, I'm a
Yeah.
20 handicap," and then a couple years later, "Oh, I'm a 16 handicap," and I'm
Yeah.
improving. He really like I can't imagine what it takes to improve when you're at his level where he started
Yeah.
from.
Right.
But
Yeah.
he has. But the other thing I love about his channel is, before going live here, we talked about our golf trips coming up. I love Links Golf. It is the best. It's so much
Yeah.
fun. And he posts so many videos at just the most amazing courses throughout the UK that
Uh,
again, that just draws me in. I love watching his stuff and his personality is great. And
yeah.
maybe it's an age thing. I don't know, but I really, really like Peter Finch. So that's sort of where
I
I'm
can
at
understand that.
on the
And those are
invitational
some good
thing.
characters. Yeah, those are some
Yeah,
good
and
characters.
I mean, I peek in on it. It's not like I completely ignore all of those channels. I do
Yeah.
like, as frustrating as they get, I like watching Trent try to break whatever it is he's trying to break now, 85 or
Yeah.
890 or whatever, right? It's fun. You just pull your hair out because you're like, you keep making the same mistakes, but okay,
Yeah.
I can live with
Yeah.
that. We all do that. But
Yeah.
so yeah, I check in on some of their stuff every now and then, but that's
I
sort of where
got
I'm
you.
at. So I want to go like you in one of your videos, I think it might have been your intro video, you talked about how you wanted to golf when you were young, but you didn't. And so I'm
Mhm.
curious, um, what was holding you back? Because it sounded to me, and I'm trying to remember here exactly what you said.
Mhm.
It sounded like you definitely had people in your life who were golfing, but you didn't get to go or couldn't go or weren't going or what.
Yeah. So I smile because um, I've given my parents a hard time about this scholarship program, and that's what I'm wearing right here.
Yeah,
I chose it just because
I
this
have questions about that
means a
too.
lot.
I have questions about
Perfect.
that
So
too.
so I won't dig too deep into it right now, but what I will say is that this allowed me the opportunity to be around the game and just surround myself in it. But I wish I played more in high school, and I think I was just focused on other things in high school, like
Yeah,
just hanging out, playing different sports. I didn't know that golf would be very cheap for a high school student. I
yeah.
wish someone told me that. If someone told me that, I would have been there every day after school, guaranteed.
Yeah, it's funny you say you give your parents a hard time because I do the same. My dad grew up on a golf course. He
Hmm.
also was one of those self-driven individuals who I think it was at 5 years old decided he wanted to play the piano and has probably not missed a single day since he was five, and he's 76 now. So he's played piano his entire life.
What?
His entire
That's
life.
impressive.
I I've teased him in the past. I'm like, you know, the two things that you really enjoyed, the only one you made me do was piano.
Of course.
And Mike, this is how bad it was. This is a little glimpse in like my stubborn little brain. I remember
Mhm.
being 6 and 7 years old, and I had a series of piano teachers. I remember being 6 or 7 years old and being told you have to practice an hour a night. And it got to the point like I was like, I don't want to do this. I want to do this. Well, sorry, you're going to do this. This is for your own good. You're going to do this. You practice. I don't care if you sit at the piano for an hour. You're going to sit at the piano for an hour a night, and you'll either practice or you won't. I would sit an hour a night at the piano and just sit there.
No way.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
sorry, hit my
insane.
microphone. Yeah. So, but I wish now, and I tease them. I'm like, man, why didn't you say you are going to go hit golf? You're going to go hit putts for an
Right.
hour.
Yeah, right.
I don't care if you stand on the green for an hour and don't touch a ball, but you're going to go stand on the putting green for an
Oh my.
hour. Um, it
Who
just
knows what you would be right now?
I know, and I'm totally fine with how it all worked out, obviously, but I just laugh about that because I'm like, man, if I had known that, that like you say, like this opportunity to start young and sort of what it does for you later
Yeah.
on, the benefits of learning the moves young, learning to experiment and play young, just pays all these dividends down the line. So that and again, another similarity, right? Um, Going back, so you briefly brought it up, right? You've got the vest on. The summer scholarship program led to caddying. You said I think at 14 or 15 years old. Tell me about that experience. How did you get into it? What was it? What did it do for you as a person and as a golfer, and sort of get you into the game even deeper?
Because I could talk for hours about my high school experience. So the Daniel Murphy Scholarship Fund, that's DMSF, is probably in reverse. So this is a high school scholarship program, and it is both merit and need based. So what I mean by that is you need
Yeah,
to be below a certain income requirement, and you also need to have certain academic excellence. And it allows you to either attend a local Chicago Catholic high school or a boarding school, and they were able to send students to places as far as Colorado for boarding school, or even on the East Coast, where we had a couple students at Exeter. Which, if
nice.
you know anything about boarding schools,
Yep.
Exeter is the top of the top, right? So it was a very cool program. But how I got to caddying is they wanted to develop the whole student, not just give money for tuition. So they had this fair for summer opportunities and things that you can do, programs. They had a flyer that said, "Hey, do you want to make $3,000 to $5,000 and potentially qualify for a full ride scholarship to college?" You had me at
Yeah,
$3,000 to $5,000.
yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and live away.
college.
Yeah, whatever that is. I want the money now, right? And they say you can live away from home in the summer.
Oh, yeah.
It, this is a no brainer. So we
Yep.
lived at a college in Lake Forest, Illinois, which is a north suburb and is a very affluent suburb, like
Okay.
very.
Yeah.
Um, many private clubs, and they have relationships at about 8 private clubs along the North Shore, is what we call it. So we caddy 6 days a week, there every day for the lottery at 6:15 a.m. and we'd be there, and you can't really leave the course before 3 p.m. So, and my parents instilled a work ethic in me from being very small. So for me, that was not hard to do. But as a high schooler, it really gave you focus and something to work towards. And as you know, the game of golf is rooted in tradition, rooted in respect, rooted in integrity. So, like, those are amazing things to reinforce in a child. And, like, I'll say that my parents did a good job raising me, I feel. But there were other students. We're all coming from some of the worst neighborhoods in Chicago. So you're taking all of these kids and putting them in these affluent country clubs.
Yeah.
So you're able to learn, and some more than others, how to operate within certain spaces where you're talking to Chicago elite for 4 hours.
Yeah.
And that's very unique. So I love that aspect because it just shows you what else is out there. And
Yep.
that is what golf meant to me. And it just told me that that can open doors to a world out there. So it
Yeah.
really shaped me, and it absolutely changed my life, and it is why I still love the game today.
Yeah, I think it's so in like in Oregon, and I'm sure it's the same in Illinois and pretty much around the country. I don't want to say child labor laws are bad, but we've made everything so restrictive that kids typically can't work until 16, and half the time, like my company, we won't hire you until you're 18 for liability reasons. And so
Yeah.
we've taken away a lot of opportunities for kids to work.
Hmm.
And there's so many things that they learn in that process of when they're young, working young. Like I think about being a caddy, especially.
Hmm.
One of the valuable things you learn working as a kid young is you learn how to interact and talk to adults
Yes.
that are not your parents. And I think
Yes.
that's a critical skill. So it's really cool. I mean, I think that's really such an awesome experience that you got to have
Yeah.
doing that.
Totally. Totally. And
What
were you a caddy also?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
I tell you about my dad growing up on golf course. He did. He started
Yeah.
caddying at like 6 years old.
Oh
Um,
man, and they were probably making about 25 cents a
hey kid,
bag
here's
or
a nickel.
something.
Here's a nickel. Um, question for you about the caddying experience. So sort of into some of the details here. I can't help get out of my brain Bill Murray and all of his brothers from Chicago, and Caddyshack was written basically based on their experiences being
Yep.
caddies, sort of in the club, exactly like what you're describing.
Yep.
What sort of training did you get? I mean, because you sounds like you went up there not really being a golfer, right? But probably
Yes.
being a little exposed to golf. Did you get any training? How did walk me through that process?
That's so
Green
that.
Mike Buie shows up to carry a bag. What do they teach you?
So that's a great question, Mike. That's the beauty of the Daniel Murphy program. They were so intentional. What I mean by that is every country club has their caddy training or tryouts to see if they'll accept a new crop of caddies. Well, the Daniel Murphy program actually had their own internal caddy training like maybe a month before to actually educate you because they know these kids, a lot of kids have nothing, no connection to golf at all.
Yeah,
So they had a like a PGA professional who is very charitable, right? Volunteering his time to train us, to also give us clubs. He gave all of us a set of clubs,
awesome.
taught us what the clubs are because how are you going to
Yeah,
somebody says give me a 7 iron or a pitching wedge, you
or
might think the P is a 9, right?
yeah, yeah. I was gonna say, or even if they just said 9 iron, you got a P, a 6, and a 9.
Exactly. So they really want to set us up for success. So I walked into the caddy training ahead of all of these other local kids who maybe knew golf but didn't know where to stand in relation to the golfer to
Yeah.
clean the club right after. So and I'm so grateful for that experience. I actually every year train the high schoolers from Daniel Murphy. So
Oh,
every
nice.
year I train those caddies to get them prepared for that.
That's so cool. That's such a
Yeah.
cool thing. So you're still involved with it. They're still sending kids out. And then did you? I mean, I'm assuming you made the $3,000 to $5,000. Did you get the scholarship? Did you use it to leverage it to get to school, or what happened?
I made the $3,000 to $5,000. I was probably the highest paid high schooler at my school. Because when you start carrying two bags, that's when the real money
Yeah,
happens.
yeah. Big money
Um,
Mike.
yeah, and I was, for better or worse. But I didn't get the scholarship, unfortunately. Um, but everything happens for a reason. I still went to the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, which is
Yep.
a great school. That's where I would have chosen had I gotten the scholarship. And I roomed with my best friend, and I still had friends at the scholarship house. But everything happens for a reason. So I
Yeah.
did not get it, but you know, I'm in full support of that Chick Evans program for sure.
Yeah, that's cool. You say you just mentioned friends, and my very next like sort of prompt here was when I go back and prep for these, right, I'm binging through your videos, and I'm watching videos, and I
Mhm.
realized I got when I started at the oldest videos and I started working my way, just kind of hopscotching through older videos, I got to a point where, oh, clearly I've watched this video. The red bar is all full, and
Yeah.
so the earliest video I remember you watching, or I remember watching, was you had a match with Luch,
Yeah.
right? And I think he had just
That's
had a
that's
baby or
that's
something,
that's
right?
my guy.
Yeah, I think he had just had a baby. So are you still playing with him? What's your position on giving him gimmies?
If you haven't seen the hat already, no, I I'm a nice guy. I'm the nicest guy when there's no money on the line. I like playing for money. Don't get me wrong, but we still play together. Luch is we went to high school together actually.
Yeah.
Um, he's one of my best friends. Like I have three best friends. We talk every day. He's one of those guys. He was a groomsman.
Do you watch Whoop 'em Wednesday? Have you watched Whoop 'em
I've
Wednesday?
seen I've seen when it before the name change.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whoop ass.
So I've
Oh,
seen
which
it.
I'm mad that they got rid of that. I understand why they did it, but I love the name. Whoop ass Wednesday was so good.
I like that name way better. A
Way
friend
better.
of mine, I have some friends that live in Atlanta, so they one of them knows the guy who created it because
Okay.
it's at a course that he plays at all the time.
Yeah.
So he said those are really good guys, and that guy is a really good golfer, as you probably know,
Shelton
right?
or whatever.
So it's
Yeah.
just really cool.
Yeah. The only reason I bring that up is because I've learned more about golf gambling watching watching their shows than I have about anything else. Although I don't know, they must be off camera. They must have an accountant keeping track because they'll throw out like 15 bets on the first tee box, and I'm like, who is keeping track of all this stuff? I think so. I think they just like to be able to say, "Well, you still owe me $60 from the last round." That's it. Yeah, it's a mental thing. So you asked about our game. So I'm not really a gambler. Actually, I don't really like gambling at all. I've played a ton of cards in my life, just tons and tons of poker, but I don't really get a jazz out of it anymore. Um, Telling you before we jumped on live again, my playing partner is my wife and her brother, and we play 18 every Saturday, Sunday, and she Saturday, Sunday, yeah. I got an
Oh,
8
okay.
8. I got the first tee time this Saturday, and then I got the third tee time on Sunday.
You live a great life. Continue.
It's a good life. It's a good life. So, wife hates the whole idea of handicaps. Hates it. She's like, "Well, that doesn't even sound fair. I shouldn't beat you if I got a 6 and you got a 5. I shouldn't beat you because I magically get 2 strokes." I'm like, "Okay." So she's come up with this game. One day she showed up to our round and she had 18 poker chips in her bag.
Hmm.
They're not worth anything. It's all her money anyways, right?
Yeah.
My money's her money. Her
Fair,
money's her
fair,
money.
fair.
Um, so and our third is her brother.
Right.
so so it was
He's gonna take her side anyways.
yeah, we play solely for bragging rights, but they're tied to chips. And so each hole we
Okay.
play for a chip. And there's no rollovers. If you win a hole, doesn't matter. You win with an 8 and everybody got a 9, you win. Um,
Mm,
so you get a chip. If it's a draw, there's no chips are given, and we slowly add different variations. If you get a birdie, you can steal a chip from someone. If you eagle a
mm.
hole, you get a chip from everyone that's got one. Uh, and
I
then we'll
like
play
that.
games where, like, if everybody's got a chip, we'll throw in an extra chip. Everybody, basically antes a chip for a KP
Yeah.
on the par threes, and just stuff
Yeah.
like that. So really, it's at the end of the round who's got the most chips, and some of the guys in the clubhouse know that we're playing this silly game because you know
Yeah.
people will come out and play with us, and we make them play it. And so they'll
Yeah.
ask, how many, who got the most chips? How'd you guys do,
Right.
Sonya? How'd you, whatever. That's so
That's
that's
cool to
that's the
keep it
extent of it.
interesting.
That's the
Yeah.
extent of it. No real money or anything like that on the line, but um,
That's cool.
yeah, it's fun. It's just another layer of fun on the
Yeah.
game. Um,
Exactly.
okay, so there's two other videos I want to talk about briefly, and the next one is uh, Oak Quarry, 32,000 views, right?
Yeah.
By far your biggest video. It's your
Hmm.
best by a mile or even several miles,
Several.
but it's also special for another reason, right? Tell
Mhm.
me about that video. How awesome is it to make a video uh, with that purpose
Mhm.
at the beginning? And I'll let you explain what I'm talking about. With that
Yep.
purpose, and have that be the one to just blow up.
You know, it it was cool, it was unexpected, and I almost didn't even put the video out. Like, funny enough. So, my old court video, this is a golf course in Riverside, California, for those who haven't heard of it. And a lot of people do like that course because they have a signature hole where there is a huge rock formation, like for a par three. So it's a very cool hole. I played that course when I was on a work trip, and I think this was back in early 2000. This was May 2004 is when I played the course.
Yeah,
Um, later that, yeah, actually, soon after that trip, um, I was in Chicago, and my father, he lived in Tennessee at the time. I got a call from his wife that, he was sick. He'd had some health problems before in the past. He actually had a few strokes at different times. And he's a lifelong smoker, so they were worried that it was lung cancer. So I went down to spend time with him. From the time that I went down to see him, and that was Father's Day 2024, which is typically in June. Um, 2 weeks later, he passed away. And it was really, really tough, really unfortunate. And like anyone, like, I didn't feel like editing a video. I
yeah,
didn't I didn't care about the video. I didn't even really care to golf. Like, I golfed, and when I did golf, I definitely didn't want to golf to record. I just
yeah,
wanted to golf because, my friends are saying, "Hey, let's golf," or just spending time. And golf is my escape. Like, as much
yeah,
as I want to succeed in the YouTube golf space, I'd never want to look at golf like a burden. And so it was that time, and that was in June. And I can't remember when I posted the video, but I started editing. I started, like, when I watch YouTube golf, I get inspired.
hmm,
And because I see someone, or I see some good editing, like good editing, I love their editing. And one of their, I guess we can call him a cinematographer, right? He kind of wears a lot of hats. His name's Colin Ross. And we've become friends over the years because I reached out to him a couple years ago just to show love to him and say, "Yo, that was a crazy trick that you did, and
yeah,
I'm not an editor, and it just is mind blowing." So, like, we met at their meetups when they come to Chicago. But I get inspired when I see really clean editing or just a cool video. So I'm sure similar to you, right? You love
yep,
YouTube golf and an appreciation. So I think one day I just felt like editing, and then I was thinking about how long it had been since I put a video out. And then I told my dad about that course, and I showed him the clips from that course. And I'm just, "Dad, this is just a real cool place, and these are the things that I'm doing. And I'm fortunate to be able to do it." Even in that video, I'm always big on showing gratitude for
yeah.
where I am.
You stated several
Yeah.
times in the video how
Yeah.
fortunate you are to be there, and
I'm extremely fortunate, especially, like I said, I grew up where I grew up. I didn't grow up poor by any means, but, like, that's not an ideal place to grow up.
yeah,
So I try to just show my gratitude. And then I said, well, why not do a dedication, since this is what has been holding me back? So I did a dedication to him at the start of the video where, I just did like a tribute. And I said, well, he will continue to live on YouTube. This video will live on YouTube.
yeah.
And I felt bad at first. I never said this either. I felt bad at first because I'm just like, why would I put my dad's stuff in here? Like,
Like you're airing your laundry and
yeah, or you don't
taking
wanna
personal.
manipulate the viewer
Yes,
too,
yeah, yeah,
right? Like, you don't want sympathy, but then I just saw it as, like I said, a memoriam, um, for him, and I did that. And then, it was an outpouring of people in the comments saying, "Hey, man," like, it was nothing about the golf. They were just shout out to your dad, man. He's looking down at you and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm big on responding to comments, so I was just, or people saying I lost my dad too, so I'm like, hey man, we're both gonna be good, or things like that. So yeah, biggest video to date, but then also like it's cool that it's tied to my dad,
yeah,
and that's really cool. So I'm glad I did that for sure.
yeah. I want to say first of all, say hi to McGolfin TV. Glad to have you in here. Um, you know that I was looking at that thing because part of my prep process now is like, okay, let's look at this channel. Which video got the most views, or
Hmm.
like a handful of videos that get the most views, and sort of is there a common theme or whatever. And that was so far and away beyond all the other videos. I was like, this is
It's
awesome. So,
insane,
and I didn't remember ever seeing it, so I got to watch it for the first time. I'm like, this is awesome. This is amazing. Um,
right?
and I'm like you talk about responding to every comment, or you're big about responding to comments. I'm
Hmm.
the same way. I told you before we went on, like this whole thing started out of, or doing these live streams started out of a drive for connection and
Yeah.
community. And prior to that, really the primary vehicle that you have as a creator is through your comments.
Yep.
And and so I have like this compulsion to respond to every comment as well, and to respond to every response to a comment until
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
like,
the
I'm
same
probably
way.
annoying this person. I should probably stop.
Yep.
And I almost get more excited. Getting views is great. It's fun. It's an
Hmm.
endorphin. You get the endorphins or whatever. But I'm more excited when I see the little bell light up because I've got comments, and that means, oh good. It's either the friends that I've already made on YouTube commenting on my videos, and I get to interact with them about that, or it's someone new who passed through.
Hmm.
Um, right.
Yeah. No,
So
I'm totally with you on that. And like like you said, that look for connection. I've been able to connect not only with you, right? But
yep,
also on my latest trip to California. Before that, a viewer saw my Oak Quarry video and he said, "Hey, the next time you're in my area, like you can come to my club and let's get around in."
that's cool.
And I said, "Yo, email me. I'll definitely do that." And then we connected while I was out there. Unfortunately, I had a wrist issue, so I couldn't play. But I said, "Hey, I'm injured, but I'd be happy if we can do lunch," because it's like, again, it's about the interconnectedness. Like I'm not just looking for a round of golf. I was paying for my round of golf anyway, but it was the fact that he welcomed me. So I said, let's have lunch, talk. It was Ryder Cup Sunday, so we watched the Ryder Cup. And then he gave me a tour of the front nine on a golf cart. And we
That's pretty
put
cool.
around a little bit. So like it's that piece, like if I didn't respond to comments, that would have never happened.
Yeah, that's cool. And
Yeah.
I've had similar, not I think I've met one other person from California. In fact,
Hmm.
actually, we just had lunch earlier this
Oh,
week,
cool.
and on Monday, Tuesday. It's the second time we've tried to connect, but we actually connected this time.
Very
And
cool.
he's the one he's going to come on in December. He's got a channel as well.
Nice.
So that should be fun. But that's really cool to make like the actual connection.
Yeah.
And one of the cool things about like tonight, when the person is actually better than you thought they were going to be. Like I thought you were going to be pretty cool, but I'm like, wow, we got a lot to connect here
Dang,
on. This is
man. I
this is
appreciate
awesome. This is
that.
cool. So the last video that I want to ask you a question about was you got to go to the Masters practice round. So tell me
Yeah.
about your experience. I watched the video. I've seen it twice now, and so I know it's in the video. Tell me sort of like what didn't make it in there. What was your overall experience about that?
So I would tell you the one thing that didn't make it in there is the pimento cheese sandwich, and that's because I did not try it. I'm a picky eater.
You didn't try it.
I didn't try it, man. So I went with my friend with Luch actually.
Okay,
Um,
yeah.
so he tried it. He said it was mad, but I looked at it. I said, I'm all right. I'm
Can't do
okay."
it.
um, I think oh, and another thing that didn't make it in is the moment that Rory's daughter made that. I think it was Rory's daughter made a very long putt
Yeah.
um, that went super viral.
Yep.
We saw it and the place erupted, absolutely erupted. But overall, as you would expect, man, like the Masters is Disney World for golfers, and it was amazing from start to finish. There is nothing but order. there's no chaos. And you would think with so many men, and it's a lot of women too, but so many just guys, that there would be there was nothing but respect, order, and nothing was out of place. And it was a full well-oiled machine. I really enjoyed it. I think I said this in the video, but I found a spot and I sat there, and it was the ninth green, which is a very undulating green,
Hmm.
very cool approach shot. I fell asleep, for about 30 minutes. It's just peaceful. And I think one thing that's cool that I think a lot of viewers might find cool that they may not know. So you buy a lawn chair at Augusta, and it's got the Masters emblem on it, but there's a placard basically where you can write your name on it. So there's an unwritten rule. Say if you set your chair down, I don't have a chair. I didn't want to buy a chair. And your chair has been empty for, however, 10 minutes, 30 minutes. I can sit in your chair, and when you come back, you don't look at me and say, "Who is this guy in my chair?" You just say, "Oh, hey, I'm Mike Golf's Oregon."
Yeah.
Oh, okay, bet. And then I'll get right up.
Yeah.
There is no animosity. It's just known that any chair, if it's open, you can sit there. But then when someone comes and says, "Hey, that's my chair," you just get up.
You just get up.
And I didn't even believe it when I read that on Reddit, but I saw it happen. Or I left my chair and no one touched it. It was beautiful, but it was an amazing experience, man.
That's pretty cool. I don't know if you listen to podcasts or not, but
Mhm.
the Broken Tea Society has, I think it might be a 4 or 5 part. I think it was Broken Tea Society History of the
Okay.
Masters, and you
Okay.
want to. It is for someone that's been there and experienced a lot of the things that don't make it on TV, like what you just shared.
Yeah.
You would absolutely eat it up because
Yeah.
you see the personality of the driving personality of the person who created the Masters
Mhm.
and made it what it is today or set it on the course to
Yeah.
what it had become. And you see that attention to those kinds of details and setting the
Yeah.
right tone and setting the right atmosphere and enforcement to really get it where he wanted it. I think you would really eat that up. It's a really cool,
I'm
cool
gonna have to
deal.
check that out for sure. One more
Yeah,
thing I'll say about it, you also wouldn't think about this, but the restrooms were like clockwork. Like there is there's essentially just a whole lot of volunteers, and you use either a urinal or a stall. Once you're out of the stall, they go in, wipe it down, and do another flush, and then it's ready for the next person. Because like the
yeah,
line is always long, but it could just take longer with someone trying to clean it off themselves. Or
yeah,
guys can be super messy.
yep.
But they haven't thought about it to that level of detail where they just have dedicated people for that. And my mind was just blown. It was an amazing
That's
experience. Yeah, and I think
that's
every
awesome.
golfer should be able to go to the Masters at least once. I actually don't need to go again. I would I would always advocate that someone goes for like one time.
Yeah, yeah. My only issue is man, I hate crowds, Mike. I hate
Yeah,
crowds.
that's not the place for you,
I
man.
hate crowds. I hate crowds. Um, okay, so I have two things I want to do here. One is I have one more question, and it's really more related to Chicago.
Mhm.
Not more. It is related to Chicago. And then I want to close with I love going through like these sort of quick hitter questions
Okay.
where I give you two answers, like two things, and you choose. Um, the Chicago question is this: so coming out of COVID, my wife and I were like, hey, I think some of our, places that we like to go on vacation, Mexico quite a bit, just wasn't working out towards
Mhm.
that COVID thing. So we started thinking about doing these 3-day vacations around the US
Yeah.
and like maybe only two a year or one a year or something. And she'd
Mhm.
pick a city and I'd pick a city. She wants to go
Cool.
to Nashville, right? I know what we're
Mhm.
doing in Nashville. We're doing Beale Street, we're doing Grand Ole
Yep.
Opry, and then I don't know, probably some barbecue or hot chicken place, right?
Mhm.
Um, my number one city is Chicago
No way.
because I've only been there because of the airport, right? So
Mm.
whether it's Midway or O'Hare, that's the only reason I've ever gone through, and I've gone through several times.
Yeah.
So 3-day weekend in Chicago. What are the if it's only 3 things, what are the 3 things I cannot miss?
That's a great question. And for the viewers, we did not discuss these questions, so this is my
No,
real
I got
reaction.
no, and wait till you get to the last
Um,
ones that I have.
so one thing you definitely have to do. Well, I am a Chicagoan that feels that a tourist should do the touristy things. So you should do deep dish. Like you should try that because it's a Chicago thing.
Yep.
Um, One thing that a lot of people don't know that is incredibly slept on, or people are learning more now, is a Chicago architecture tour.
Yeah.
So Chicago has a Chicago River, and there you learn a lot of history about the creation of Chicago, the foundation that it's even built on, how Navy Pier came to be, and just all of the architecture. And it's on the Chicago River that goes through Chicago downtown and the South Loop. Um, that is a must. Like I would say, that is an absolute must, and especially on a
Okay.
beautiful day.
Yeah.
That's two things, and the third thing,
Uh-huh.
I mean, you have to golf. I think I'd be
We probably
crazy if I
will.
don't say that. Yeah, you
Yeah.
and your wife both golf.
We both golf
You have
now,
to
so yeah.
you have to golf with no Gimmes golf, man.
Where are we golfing? Where are we golfing then?
So
Give us the Chicago experience. Where are we golfing with no Gimmes golf?
it's either going to be there's a hidden place that I could take you, which
You
is
can't
an
say it.
hour north of Chicago. No, it's called Shepherd's Crook, and it's one of my favorite in
Okay.
Chicagoland. But it's an hour north, like right by the Wisconsin border, actually. But a lot of people want to play Cog Hill Dubs Dread, which is a place where Tiger won the BMW like
Yeah.
5 times. So like some people play that just for the history behind it and the opportunity to play the course that Tiger has won at so many times. So that's what I would say. Just because again, you're a
Nice.
tourist, it's like that's a good one to do. So I would say those are three things.
That's cool. I played at a course that Tiger won
Oh, what's
on
it called?
Sunday. Yeah.
Oh,
I did not win.
oh, it's all right. We all can't be
I'm
Tiger, I
not
guess,
Tiger.
right?
I'm not Tiger. Well, Mike, this has been so much fun. I have
Yes.
truly like really enjoyed this. What I like to close with is just go through a series of like quick hitter questions. You
Okay.
just pick the one that you think that is your answer here. We'll go
Hmm.
through some quick hitters and maybe get a little pretty wide ranging here. But I'll start with this, and this goes back to the Chicago theme:
Hmm.
Windy City, Second City, Chi-Town, or City of Big Shoulders.
Windy City,
Windy City. Okay. Callaway or TaylorMade?
TaylorMade,
Masters or Open Championship? And I think I already know the answer to this one.
Masters,
Okay.
Masters,
All right, here we go. Back to Chicago. Is it Giordano's or Lou Malnati's?
Giordano's.
Okay,
But
is it
my
Giordano?
wife loves Lou Malnati's
So you probably go to Lou Malnati's more often than
100% of the time.
good answer. Good answer. Good answer. Okay, favorite men's pro.
Favorite what? Oh, men's pro.
Men's pro.
Brooks Koepka.
Really?
I'm a
Nice.
Brooks guy.
I,
I'm
I
a Brooks guy.
I love Brooks, and the reason why is because I picked him in our at our office here. We always do a Masters pool, and I
Uh-huh.
picked him. Or maybe it was the U.S. Open. Whatever we do pools at all the majors. His
Hmm.
first major, his first 2 majors, I happened to pick him, and so I was like forever a Brooks Koepka fan.
Say, I love this guy.
Forever, and I was like, he's great. He's great.
Yeah.
Okay, favorite women's pro.
Rose Zhang.
Yeah, this
My favorite swing in golf, period.
really.
Yes.
That's funny. There's just way too many crisscrosses here. My favorite swing in golf is a female golfer, but she's old school. Mickey Wright. If you look up Mickey Wright,
Okay.
she's a
Okay. Thank you,
Hall
right.
of Famer. You watch that swing, and it is the most fluid thing you have ever seen
Oh
in your
man.
life. It's not a
Women's
modern.
golfers.
It's not a
Yeah.
modern swing, but
Uh-huh.
it is awesome. I
Yeah,
have a
lady golfers got it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Okay, so you have to game one, and you know your boys are going to chirp you on either one of these. You have to game one for a season. Is it a chipper or a broomstick putter?
A chipper. Because my chipping is so bad, so I need all I can get.
Yeah. Okay, dream course to play.
Hmm. Sorry, this is rapid fire. Dream. You know what,
What's
man?
the
I'm a
first one that comes
big
to mind?
Yeah, I'm a big aesthetics guy. Well, the first one that came to mind was Pebble, like 99% of golfers.
I'm
But
shocked you haven't said Augusta.
you know, yeah, you may be right. I mean, I did enjoy walking it, but like for me, I'm a big aesthetics guy. So like Wolf Creek in Nevada.
Yeah.
That's one that is just like a dream.
Or what's the other the one that the PGA just started playing in Utah, the Black Desert, or
Oh, yeah, Black Desert Rock or something
the
like
ones
that.
that just look like unlike anything else are always pretty amazing.
That's on the list. We were in our group chat earlier talking about a Utah golf trip
Yeah,
today.
I want to go down St. George and play a bunch of those courses. Okay,
Yes.
we got three more questions here.
Hmm.
Jordan or LeBron?
LeBron.
Really? Oh, a Chicago
Uh,
guy. Ooh,
I LeBron. Are you a Jordan guy?
ooh. Well, I'm 53.
There we go.
I'm
53 left
53.
23. I
And
hear it.
yeah, I'm 53. And I'm in Oregon. I grew up a Trailblazer fan. And instead
Mm.
of Michael Jordan, we got Sam Bowie and his broken leg. Um, Cubs or Sox?
Cubs.
Okay. A
Even
little,
though I'm from the South
I was
Side.
going to say a little surprise, right? Okay. So here's the last one. If you could have any YouTuber as a guest in your channel, who would it be and why them? I'll tell you, I almost ended out with who would it be and why would it be me?
That's oh yeah. So yeah, why didn't I even think of that? Hmm. Man, this is tough as I look at my TV because I have the internet invitational pause right
You're looking
now.
at all them.
I'm trying to think of who because like part of me wants to say Grant, but
What if I prompted you? I mean, what about your inspiration? What if it's Bryce?
I
No?
think that would be cool. I think that would I think that would be cool. I think that would be I think that would mean the most, because that would be full circle, right, for
Yeah.
the one who started it all.
Yeah.
So we can go with Bryce Butler. Shout out Bryce. If you
Shout
when you
out
come back to
Bryce.
Chicago,
Hit
man,
me up.
just reach out. I'm here. And I will say that, um, and I won't belabor the negative, but I'll focus on the positive. There was something that happened a couple years ago,
Mhm.
on Instagram between Roger Steele and myself.
Okay.
But amidst the negative, someone that Bryce knows sent my intro video to him, and he saw that he was my inspiration. So then he
Cool.
followed me back, and we talked in the DM for a little bit. So,
Cool.
like, so yeah, that would be a cool full circle moment.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, I told you I was going to keep you to about an hour, and I look like I went about 6 minutes over. Apologies for that.
We can't be perfect.
It
It's all
can't be
right, man.
perfect, but this has been super awesome. It has been so
Yeah.
great getting to know you a little bit better and a little bit deeper beyond what you've posted up on your videos. And I appreciate your being open and willing to answer so thoroughly and be a little bit of transparency and open to that. And
Thank you.
for those watching this either live now or who will see it later once it gets posted, subscribe to Mike's channel, No Gimmes Golf. And truly, there should be no gimmies. That's how we play every round. My wife would have it no other way. So
Yep.
you'd love playing
I'm
with
with
her,
I'm with
cut
you
everything
guys.
out. So thank you again, Mike, for coming on. Really appreciate it. Have a great off season.
Yeah.
Enjoy all of your golf trips coming up,
Thank you.
and have a good evening.
Mike, thank you. Thank you a million times for having me, man. And I love what you're doing. So thanks you for letting me be a part of it for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Great talking to you, man. Truly.
Great. Good times. All right.
All right.
I'll see
See
you in the
ya.
comments.
Of course. See you there, man. Stay
All right.
connected. Bye.
Night, Mike.